Hello there, Sagittarius. Welcome to DragonTaleTarot. My name is Ariel, and this is your reading for the full moon in Taurus. That is coming with a powerful lunar eclipse. This is for the month of November 2021. That full moon lunar eclipse will be with us at about 3:47 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Just take that into consideration depending on where your time zone location is. Thank you so much for being here with me today, Sagittarius. It is always wonderful to welcome you to the channel. If you are brand new with me here, I'd love you to hit that subscribe button, join the Dragon family, and be part of our group here. We would love to have you. Also, keep in mind that these are general readings. They will not resonate with every Sagittarius out there. Take what makes sense and leave the rest behind. Down in the description box, you will find links for all the different card decks that I use if you're interested in those, and also the information if you're interested in a personal reading with me. So let's go ahead and jump right in. This is going to be all about the past, present, future cycles of energy that are coming to you for the full moon. Dear angels, divine beings of light, guardians, and ancestors, please show us our beautiful Sagittarians. What will they have coming in for them around this full moon lunar eclipse in the sign of Taurus for November 2021, please? Thank you so much. Oh, this looks beautiful. All right, so Sagittarius, the immediate past, which would be the last, 28 to 30 days since the last full moon, is coming in with a new moon in Libra, new romantic cycles beginning. So for a lot of my Sagittarians, you may have recently started a new relationship. You perhaps are healing an old one and reconnecting. If it's not about a romantic relationship, this could also be better friends, better coworkers, better business associations coming in as well, because Libra energy does rule all of our personal relationships. So that could be very, very strong for you. Let's see what we have clarifying that. And surrender, very interesting. Now the Scorpio reading I just did, the surrender card was also in the same position. And so I do feel that with this month, with this last lunar full moon cycle going out, our last full moon was in Aries, I do feel like we're releasing a lot of things. I feel like so much is transcending. A lot of heavy energies are lifting. Sagittarius, your solar cycle is beginning in just a few days. So a big happy birthday out there to all my Sagittarians. But it also does usher in a happier, brighter energy, because Sagittarius is a fire sign. It is a, positive masculine alignment. And so it is, going from the depths, the deep, intense energies of Scorpio to those very bright and upbeat Jupiter kind of vibrations of Sagittarius, which open things up. But as a result, we have to surrender some things to open up first. And I feel like, like I said, for some of you, you might be healing an old relationship, or old associations or partnerships, or better ones are coming in. And you have to surrender some old patterns, some old routines. May have to forgive some people, including yourself, right, around that, to bring it back together in a more powerful way. The energy coming through in the present right now with this full moon in Taurus landing is the new moon in Virgo. Notice all of these are actually new moons. All three of the Moonology cards I pulled for you are new moons. So Sagittarius, I feel like this really, gives the message of a lot of new beginnings, romantic beginnings. Now we have beginnings, to me, in work, in service, in health, in habits and routines. I feel like what's coming in for you with this full moon in Taurus lunar eclipse is very much about starting and rebuilding yourself from the inside out. It is also a time to give rather than to take. So you may feel, led to, do charitable work, or to, return something that, maybe somebody loaned you some money or did you a favor, and you feel like it's time to, give back that karmic balance, right? And it just feels really good to do so. Virgo is a sign of service, but also what I feel is that you are rebuilding really good new habits for yourself, better health, better strength, you know, better new routines, making sure you get enough sleep, get enough exercise with water. You might be eating better than ever, just to give yourself a nice, good new boost. So let's get into a clarifier. I will say, you know, the full moon in Taurus is one of our greatest manifesting moons. It gives us such an ability to bring things into tangible form. And for you, Sagittarius, it is a very strong one, right? It is. It is hitting that, let's see, that would be, yeah, that is actually highlighting your Virgo house. No wonder this came up. Universally, the full moon in Taurus will be in that Virgo house for you. No wonder. This is bringing beautiful new manifestations to your healthful habits and routines. If you haven't been taking great care of your health or treating yourself well, it's time to change that. And this full moon is going to help you do it. Yes. And I think, you know, it's like, here's that hot moon energy. It's time to release extremes. Like, you know, especially if you have a life where, you know, maybe you don't treat yourself very well and you work too hard, do all these things, and then you try so hard to make up for it. It's time to get a more stable existence, right? To do the good habits each day. Don't go to extremes with it, Sagittarius. It reminds me, you know, it's like, we all know people who, you know, it's like they won't work out or they won't, you know, eat right for months and months or years at a time. And then suddenly they go crazy and they're like, I got to do it all like this week. And they do it too much, and either they hurt themselves or they don't, you know, make those changes gradually enough, and they just don't feel good. And so this is kind of telling you, don't go to extremes, right? Don't go to those extremes, Sagittarius. If you need to make healthful changes, introduce them one piece at a time. Virgo is small, detailed steps. And so it is all about, you know, one piece at a time. Don't overwhelm yourself with trying to replace negative habits with positive ones. Just know that you will get there. Going into the immediate future, another new moon. You had all three of these moonology cards are new moons. So working through your fears, there's that Scorpio energy, which of course we do still have a good bit of that. But this is really how this all is going to work out over the next 30 days until our next full moon comes up. And so, yeah, to me, this brings about new beginnings in your psychological and emotional development. It gives you opportunities to transform yourself from the inside out. Interesting enough, you know, both Virgo and Scorpio are very healing signs. Virgo is more healing on the physical level, and Scorpio is more healing on the emotional and psychological level. So Sagittarius, this is just a great reading. It's a kind of intense for sure, but it's really good because it shows that there is so much room to grow. There's so many new beginnings coming in for you. And if you've been working on these elements, you know, of your own health, your own well-being, it's really going to start paying off. Let's get a clarifier on the Scorpio new moon. You know, and Scorpio energy is very important right now because that is where the sun is, where our full moon is in Taurus. So on top of this, we have the darkness, the long night moon, which is the full moon of December. That's actually the full moon. Sorry, my camera is really having a hard time focusing. Sorry about that, guys. So, you know, that is the full moon of December. That's usually the full moon that takes place in, you know, when the sun is in Sag. So that will be next month. That will be the Gemini full moon. And many times, you know, when I see the long night moon, it can sometimes feel like a little bit of a dark night of the soul. Like you're really going through something very personal, very intense. Sometimes you may feel very alone doing it, right? You know, where you maybe have this personal struggle or battle. And even if other people are helping you, even if other people are lending a hand, it's like you still have to do, you know, the journey on your own, right? It's like no matter how many people are helping us, we still have to walk through those portals on our own, right? Nobody can shove us through. We have to be willing to step through. So I feel like you're going to have a lot of these very challenging cycles come to a close, come to a finish over this next 28 days as this full moon winds up and moves into the next cycle. It's very beautiful, but it is very intense, Sagittarius. So I would say absolutely, if you need help, reach out for it. Don't hesitate to get the support you need from friends, family, loved ones. But also remember, they can hold your hand, but they can't make you take the steps that you need to take. You're going to have to do that part. Let's get into some tarot and deepen these messages up. Wow, these just want to flip right out. Okay, Spirit, please. 3 cards, past, present, and future for Sagittarius around these lunar cycles. Yes. And this is about emotional healing. I feel like in the past position, we have this 4 of Cups, you know, on top of that surrender, on top of that new moon in Libra. You may have been procrastinating or waiting too long to make a move or to let something go. You may have been focused on something that really wasn't fulfilling emotionally. And you know, it's time, like you realized, wow, Spirit's offering me some really great blessings, but I've got to be willing to step up and take them. Let's get a clarifier on the 4 of Cups, please. Page of Cups on top of that. Yes. This to me is this feels like, don't procrastinate. If you know you need to speak to someone, if you know you need to talk to them, this combined, you know, with the other 2 cards in that past position, oh my goodness, this feels so strong that y'all have been needing, or maybe you needed to. You may have already resolved this, but if it's still in play, these messages are definitely still active for you. This really says you may have been putting off an apology. Someone may have been putting off an apology to you. You may have been waiting on that. And it's been, you know, definitely time to let this go and to just go ahead, say what you need to say, because pages are communication, they're messages coming through, and the cups are the emotions, right? And it may be something where either, you know, you had a falling out with someone, maybe some kind of miscommunication, and both of you been very stubborn to like pick up the phone and just have that talk, and say you're sorry to each other and just, you know, patch things up, really, you know. But I feel like either you're about to or you need to if you haven't already, because that's just a really interesting message coming through. So on top of the center, the present energies of the full moon, on top of the Virgo new moon, and that moon of extremes, we have the 6 of Wands. So I feel like you will be victorious. Anything that you need to heal, balance, and moderate within yourself, you're going to be very successful. That is a recognized victory coming through with the 6 of Wands. And yes, it has been about making some choices. You may have felt like your energy was scattered in a lot of different directions. And so here's that 7 of Cups, you know, really saying, Sagittarius, put all your decisions on the table, look at each one of them, and decide which one is best for you. Because you will be successful in that if you haven't already done it. That's what's coming in very strong here. Into the immediate future, on top of that Scorpio new moon and the long night's moon, we have the King of Cups. Very positive, very strong, you know, making good decisions about your emotions and about what's right for you. So, you know, to me, this is you really healing yourself and having been healed from the inside out. It does indicate very trustworthy and honest people around you, and that you're ready to make the decision to only associate with people that have those qualities. And we have the 7 of Wands. And part of this could definitely be the ability to stand up for yourself when you need to know when there's a battle worth fighting, right? Because there is always a difference. Sometimes all those arguments and battles aren't worth having, but this is showing me that you are definitely willing to stand up for what is best for you, no matter what. And look at what's on the bottom. We have the Queen of Swords and the Emperor. So to me, this is like no nonsense. cutting things or people out of your life that no longer are positive, things or associations that are toxic, and really stepping into a lot of action and positivity with that emperor. That is about leadership and making good, positive, affirmative decisions for yourself. Let's get a magical spell card for your affirmation. Oh, yes. Sagittarius, for some of you, I feel like, you know, your romantic relationship or partnership, if you have one in your life, is improving. And for those of my single Sagittarians, you may be developing a romantic relationship with someone who's so much better for you. Oh my goodness. For those of you that are healing a relationship, I feel like it's going to be very successful. And for those of you who are entering a new one, I also think it will be, because you have a very specific mindset at this point. You're like, I will only accept the best. I'll only accept people that are honest, trustworthy, that follow through with what they say they're going to do. And don't drag me into a lot of, you know, dramatic, toxic arguments. That's what this feels like. So romance, it is a sacred power. Let it come to me this hour. So Sagittarius, this is what you're manifesting through this full moon. I think that your love life is going to definitely take a turn for the better for a lot of my beautiful Saggies out there. I love that. Guys, I hope you have an amazing full moon, and I'll be seeing you again very soon. Take care.